Hey there. Have you ever been somebody who has worked in a service-based business? I'm sure you know how important it actually is to answer questions for people, because if they don't get their questions answered, it's not going to be a fun time. Quality customer service is often based off of frequency of discussion, and there's a rising trend of chatbots in enhancing this customer experience. So why use chatbots in order to do this increased level of customer experience? Well, first of all, chatbots offer instant replies, reducing wait times. They're available 24/7. Like for me, if someone goes to my website with SiteGPT, they can quickly start a conversation and ask a question about video production info. So this showcases all the different video production services that I do in a matter of seconds, rather than someone needing to send an email, wait for that response, or even just have a human do the chatting themselves. Now, the great thing about this is this can be done outside of business hours. If I were to be the one manually responding to this kind of stuff, it would take so long to get back to them. We're talking hours, because say it happened at midnight, I'm not going to be online until the next working day. But that's 8 hours that they could have gotten the answer they wanted or needed. And honestly, that kind of level of customer service is extremely cost effective with something like SiteGPT and chatbots. If you check out the different pricing here, imagine how much it would cost to pay somebody per month to constantly be online 24/7 and answer questions. Telling you what, it's gonna cost you a lot more than this. Now, the impact of AI with chatbots is huge here, because with artificial intelligence, it's revolutionized the ways that we use chatbots. Like with SiteGPT, it essentially takes the data that's already on your landing pages and your website and allows you to have extremely capable answers right away. They're much more intelligent and capable due to the advancements that have recently happened in AI. They allow for real-time responses, whereas previously it wouldn't be so quick and easy. And actually, along with that AI, there are capabilities with tools like SiteGPT to have a Q&A section, where if someone asks a question with a specific sentiment, not necessarily the exact same thing every time, but a similar type of question with the same intent, the AI can figure that out and then spit out the same response over and over again, so that you never have people ask the question like, do Rise Productive Notion templates come with a discount? In the myriad of different ways they can ask that, the answer is going to become accurately outputted to state that it's if you're a student. Rather than somebody needing to be online for that, it's automatically going to be responded to because it's smart enough to figure out the question. Some advantages that chatbots have over humans definitely is that availability factor. 24/7 without breaks cannot be underrated. Even if you're paying somebody $15 an hour and you try to extrapolate that over a month, good Lord knows. If there's 30 days in a month, I mean, that's $10,000. Jeez. And that level of availability means instant customer service and response time. The human response time is going to vary based on the agent's availability and the number of queries in the queue. If they have a bunch of questions that need to get answered, even if they're online 24/7, they're not going to answer every single thing in an instant, whereas chatbots can answer multiple people simultaneously. Also, humans tend to be a little inconsistent, like while there are some benefits to humans doing things like this, creative work, it's nice from that perspective, but when you're trying to get people to have their questions answered, it's more important for them to be answered quickly and, most importantly, effectively. Chatbots are going to offer standardized and consistent answers every time, whereas humans might end up tripping up on a different answer here and there. At least if there is information that's not necessarily going to be accurate, it's not going to be inconsistent. And most of the time it ends up being based on what you trained it. And that's why maybe it was inconsistent on the AI standpoint. Talking about training, human training takes time. With SiteGPT, if you add a link from your website, you can add all of the website data nearly immediately, talking about like 2 to 3 minutes of actual training time. Even if I press retrain here, this is just gonna take like a minute to retrain. It's insanely quick how this is. And when you think about it from that perspective, the fact that I can press retrain on these and just not deal with it, and then when a human needs to get retrained, I need to spend time training them myself. There's layers to the amount of time that you're wasting if you end up having a human do something as basic as answering questions based off your website versus having an AI bot do it. Now, once again, the cost aspect is that the recurring costs include salaries, training, and other employee benefits. Like literally, even in the United States, say you had a full-time employee that was customer service, you'd be paying this plus minimum, like for the insurance, and the taxes you'd be paying on that, salary. It's ridiculous how much you end up having to pay out when it is in fact a human versus a bot. And also from the scalability standpoint, as your website would grow and your traffic would grow, you would need to get more people to answer the questions. With AI, you can scale to a larger number of chatbots and web pages at a fraction of the cost. I mean, we're talking about the largest cost level here with SiteGPT at a ridiculously low price in comparison if you were to hire a customer support person. Also, chatbots are awesome for feedback collection. Humans have manual and subjective feedback, but chatbots are going to have automatic feedback collection and analytics tracking for continuous improvement. Using its AI algorithms and figuring out what people said regarding whether it was a positive or negative response in things like chat history are a huge level up rather than people having manual pings back and forth with others. Seeing what was a positive or negative is great for you to look at on the back end, but if the AI can be trained off of what was good or not as well, it then will end up giving that more frequently rather than the subjective nature of a human vibing and sometimes giving it more frequently. Humans are capable of complex problem solving in scenarios, and this is another thing I wanted to talk about, and they do genuinely offer tailored solutions. However, chatbots, while improved from previously, still struggle with like multi-layered issues, and they're best used for straightforward queries. So it does still make sense for people to have customer support in some human sense in their service-based business, but it just doesn't require as many hours as it used to because a lot of the more straightforward questions can get answered like this. You also got to say that humans can definitely empathize, understand tone, and build rapport. If somebody's going to be complaining about what happened in your service-based business or your product, it's going to be a lot better to have a human that deals with that problem than a chatbot for sure. People seem to like have their irritation escalate with chatbot interaction even more so than human interaction in those circumstances. So while chatbots really do offer speedy, consistent, and cost-effective answers, humans do bring a level of like empathy, complex problem solving skills, and a more balanced approach where chatbots handle routine queries and stuff that's just going to come up often in a more straightforward manner. Lucky for you, SiteGPT offers all of these amazing chatbot features that I mentioned earlier, and some of the best practices that can come with it to add a human touch to the chatbot, and that is that you make sure users know they're interacting with a chatbot and what it can help with, that you continuously go through all the different content sections here, update and train your chatbot with more individual information, even adding things to the Q&A section here, having these nice quick and follow-up prompts, and also having a level to escalate to a human. I really like the fact that when interacting with SiteGPT, if I end up wanting to talk to a person, I can press talk to somebody, and then it'll bring me to the customer support, which can be seen in the backend in chat history inside of SiteGPT as well. We have a myriad of different videos showcasing how this app works. And if you're interested in checking out any of the other kind of stuff that we have regarding the benefits of customer support here and all the amazing integrations that you can utilize with SiteGPT, make sure to check out all the other content on our YouTube channel and check out this video on how to improve your skills using SiteGPT even more.